minutes last time.
Hello, this is Bill Eagle, and we are here for a second edition of School Improvement News. Today, we're going to be talking about the OSSI iGrants for 21-22 school year. I am joined by some partners from OSPI. And again, I'm Bill Eagle, Associate Director of Student Success and Learning from ESD 171. And I'm joined by Don Williamson.
Hello, I'm Don Williamson, and I'm the Continuous Improvement Partner for ESD 171 from OSPI.
Keffy Anderson could not be with us today, but she will rejoin on future videos. So first of all, let's take a look at who's eligible to get an iGrant. Now, the funds are made eligible for Tier 2 and Tier 3 schools, and that's based on the WSIF data from back in 2017. Now, when you're identified, you're put in a different category. We've listed the separate categories here on this page for you to see, and you can figure out from this, and we'll go to the next page, the form package that corresponds with the designation that your school or your district has. Now, if you notice on this page, some say federal and some say state, and it's important for you to make that delineation when you do the application process. On the application, on the web page, there is a button called the Profile Page button. Now, be sure to click this because it has tons of information. For example, grant award amounts, fiscal details, et cetera, et cetera. So click on that button in order to get more detailed information about your particular grant. Thanks, Don. One question we usually get is, when can you start spending the grant money? And the answer depends on whether or not you are a state or federal grant recipient. A prior slide shows the form package numbers that are federal grants versus state grants. For state dollars, once the grant is approved, you can backdate expenditures to July 1st. So even if your grant is not approved until November, you will be able to backdate those expenditures to July 1st if you have a state grant. For those of you who are recipients of federal OSSI dollar grants, those expenditures can only go back as far as your SAS approval date or July 1st, whichever is later. For allowable activities, you want to make sure that you're asking yourself a few key questions. The ones that we think are key are shown on the screen here. And probably the most important is, do your expenditures align with the goals and activities of your school improvement plan? OSSI is going to be looking for alignment between your expenditures and what you've written in the goals and activities of your school improvement plan. And your school improvement plan is a required submission for this grant. Prohibited expenditures include some of the things that you're seeing on the screen here. Some of these are no-brainers. Some that you want to be careful of. You cannot use the grant dollars for prizes, awards, or incentives. In particular, some schools have tried to use those dollars as money for prizes and incentives around attendance, and that's a no-go. Some of the other prohibited expenditures are listed here and also on the profile page in iGrants. Allowable activities. There are a wide range of activities for which you can spend these dollars. The key is, again, making sure that in your application narrative, you tie these expenditures to the goals and activities from your school's improvement plan.
So what's the application deadline? Well, it's soon. It's this coming Friday at 5 p.m. So if you've been tabbed that you can get some allocation of this money, please submit something. Get your application in, because once you've got that in and it's approved, you can always revise your budget. And that takes a very short amount of time, usually a few days, just to revise your budget. So if you don't submit an application and the money had been set aside for your school or district, then that money will then be reallocated 2 other grantees. So please apply for the money that you're eligible for. So how long does the application process take? Well, normally it takes about 2 weeks, but if you wait till the 5 o'clock on Friday, it might take a little bit longer because you have a longer queue to sit in. But generally no more than 30 days, usually 2 weeks.
And some important notes again as we close, you will be required at the school level to submit your 21-22 school improvement plans as an upload for these OSSI grants. Submissions will not be processed without the upload. If you are applying for a district level grant, you will be asked to upload either your LEA recovery plan or an LEA accountability plan. And one more time, all proposed expenditures need to be aligned with goals and activities in your school's improvement plan. Please make that connection clear in your application narrative. Again, if you have questions about OSSI grants, please feel free to reach out to Don, myself, or Keffi Anderson. We're more than happy to help you with the OSSI iGrants, and we thank you for your time.